Hi, welcome to Foundations of Finance. My name is Johnny G.
And I'm Scotty D.
All right, let's get to it.
The school system will never teach you about money.
By far the best investment you can make is in yourself.
The most valuable commodity I know of is information.
If you invest in yourself, nobody can take it away from you.
Hi, thank you for joining us. Once again, my name is Johnny G.
And Scotty D coming at you.
Alrighty. Basically, today we just wanted to talk about the reasons we made this podcast, what the mission is, what our vision for the future of this channel is. But we really can't do any of that until you kind of know who we are, where we came from. I had a lot of financial issues not too long ago, honestly. I was a compulsive spender. Couldn't keep a balance in my checking account at all. I wasn't just that. I was playing video games 5 to 10 hours a day, sitting down, spending all my money on food, ordering out, having things delivered to my house. It got so bad that I had to actually move to Louisiana. I thought, I can run away from the expenses of California, and it'd probably make life a little easier. Shortly after that, I found out that it really wasn't a problem with my income or my cash flow. It was a problem with my habits and my behavior. So I came back to California back in June. I was making pretty good money doing DoorDash and Grubhub. And my parents, my mom and my stepdad, had me read 7 Habits for Highly Effective People. And they'd been wanting me to get on a Dave Ramsey and Robert Kiyosaki and wanted me to increase my financial intelligence. And this was the first time in my life where I actually kind of took what they said seriously. Before I just kind of always blew them off. But I finally took it seriously, and my life has turned around a lot since then. I started making a budget. I've actually been able to put money away. I've started investing, and lots of things have changed in a really positive way.
Absolutely. Fantastic story. And very powerful. Yeah, that's the positive step that can be taken when you take a good look at your life and you realize what you're worth. You don't give up. You strive for, you put your ambitions first, but make sure that they're aligned with, positive direction. And that's why this podcast is here, to kind of set out some foundations for you, as well as some of them that we've discovered through our journey, and we'll continue to discover. So my path was a bit different. I was raised to be a frugal spender. I was always taught that nothing in this life was free, and you had to work for everything. So once I was able to, I started working from a young age, and it wasn't until I actually graduated, that was the longest time after I graduated to a certain point in time, I didn't have a job. Up until that point, I went through the typical motions. I worked my way up, went through various jobs, worked in the hospitality industry for quite some time and made pretty decent money. But I wanted more stability. And so I went to the next step and did the full-time 9 to 5. And that's when I realized that this life is not for me. Stuck in a cubicle is no way to live a life for a human, and I refused. So I looked to other idols of mine, a role model in particular, which is my sister, who I thought was doing the right thing. That was going to school and working towards a specialty. Although I took the necessary steps, and I do not regret them, looking back at what I've learned now, I wouldn't consider it the right move. However, I went to school to step out of the 9 to 5 position I put myself in, and work towards a transition. Now, when I went to school, I did work full time. I did keep the job, and I did towards the end of my degree, I actually did an internship that was in DC to further my degree, further my specialty, which I learned a lot of amazing things, and thank God for it. But when I came back, I realized that there was no position for me. Political ties, because of political science was my major, made things difficult. And there was very little thriving in terms of finding a job, which is what I worked so hard for. that transition was pretty difficult for me, and still is, but so is life. But the difference now is I have newfound knowledge that makes me strive for more, to understand financial education in a way that can assist me to take the necessary steps to realize deals, to outline goals, and a plan in general. That's how you really succeed. So as I was going through my process, I was going through this low time and didn't really have a job, just doing little things here and there. I finally struck gold and I got myself a full-time job, or at least that's what I thought. At the same time, funny enough, I actually got an internship back out in DC, which was a big deal for me. And I viewed it as the starting of my new life. And then COVID hit. And everything that I worked hard for kind of dissolved in my hands. And at the same time, my father, who had worked so hard in his life, who had done a lot and was another role model of mine, was at risk of losing his job, is at this day. And I realized that no matter how great of a job I get, unless I start my own business, I will never have the stability that I'm actually working for. I mean, why work so hard to make someone else rich? All these little things that I read in these books, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
And it really goes back to something you were saying earlier about life being hard. It's about choosing your hard. Working at McDonald's is hard. I've worked at fast food restaurants. It's not an easy job. And but learning how to do investing is also hard.
Very.
But you have to look at both of them. They're both hard. Choose your hard. One's going to be obviously much more rewarding than the other.
People look for instant gratification. That's why we don't advocate for the get-rich-quick schemes.
Not at all.
And we don't have any to provide you. We have a slow, efficient, and effective method to establishing, researching, and analyzing decent information. We are going to provide it to you in an unbiased manner so you can choose what works for you.
And this isn't information that we're experts in at all right now. We're learning right now ourselves, but we want to share with the community and create a community of like-minded individuals who want to learn this information as well.
Absolutely. I mean, that's basically part of our mission. So all of this was really a wake-up call for me to realize that there was more for me. And looking at the hardship that I had gone through, at the time it was miserable. But actually, it was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life, because although I went through all this period of time allowed me to find out what I was meant to do. It has put me on a path for financial comfortability, for actual wealth. And I'm going to do that and provide that to you through the wealth of education. See, our goal is to create a community of like-minded individuals that want to learn about and improve on their financial education, stability, and wealth. This will be achieved through transparent learning and teaching methods, all of which we are going to learn on this show with you. Because remember, we are not experts. We are not recommending anything to you. We just want to provide a consistency with information that's out there that can help tie into your financial stability, comfortability, and wealth.
I mean, absolutely. Obviously, we might recommend a book for you here and there, but that's going to help further our education as well as yours. And the best thing about this is, with us teaching you, we're learning more every day. And what we really would like is to have that community. So if you think of anything, if you want us to cover anything, please leave a comment down below in the comment section. We will read them, we will get to them, and we will do what we can, especially if we give you any inaccurate information. We would love to know so we can make a correction on our next video.
Yeah, part of our mission is to provide that accurate information. If we're not doing our jobs, then we need to know.
Yes.
Positive criticism is definitely welcomed here.
Yes. So our vision for this podcast moving forward is we really want to see people recognize their potential to control their finances. Whether it be creating a business, making quality investments in either the real estate or the stock market, creating assets, or just pure education. We really believe that mistakes are a part of learning. By teaching what we are learning at the same time as you learning it, we really feel we can make a strong and financially smart network. Thank you for joining us here today on Foundations of Finance. Be sure to check out our Twitter and Facebook page under the same name, Foundations of Finance. And if you like what you saw here, please leave us a like, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment down below.